Testing, testing. One, two.
Hello? Okay.
You don't want to get close
to see. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Okay, it works. Yeah.
It's the same level as this.
Okay. No problem. I think one for now is okay. Because you said they always come through, right?
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay. We are going to start with our program. The rain has, we were blessed with the rain, and I think some people are probably still on the way, but we will be starting. I'm conscious about my little friends that are in the audience, that we don't keep them too long. So please just take a seat anywhere. If we need more chairs, we will be assisted by the library staff to get more chairs. All right. Good evening, everyone. And good evening to my little friends. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here tonight, this evening. I would like to acknowledge Ms. Ayesha Wentworth, Director of Programs and Quality Assurance at the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, and Arts and Culture. Thank you very much, Director, for joining us and for taking the time. So we appreciate. I would also like to recognize, let me take my friends off. I also would like to recognize the parents here today and the children. We know that this is your evening time routine, which is very important, and we'll try and keep our program very brief. Thank you to the National Library staff, Ms. Maria Nepolo and your colleagues, for allowing us to use this space and also helping us with the setup. Thank you very much. Just to mention that at the back there, we have some coloring stations, a few things that children can do. So please, if your little ones wants to move around, don't confine them, let them move. It's absolutely no problem. We also have some water there, and please help yourselves. And the toilets are at the back there. Tonight is about stories, the magic of children's books, and the importance of giving every child the opportunity to experience the power of imagination. I was working in the corporate sector as a human resource executive, and if you would ask me 10 years ago if I would be writing children's books, the answer would probably be no. but here I am. So when my son was being born, or our son was being born, I left my career and I wanted to stay home as a mom, and that gave me an opportunity to engage in things on a flexible time. So it was then around in 2019 when I was volunteering at Development Workshop Namibia, one of the NGOs in Namibia, and at the time they were implementing a sanitation project in Samora Machel constituency and Moses Garweb in the informal settlements in Windhoek. They were constructing these toilets at ECD centers. And I'm telling us a little bit of a story. It's a long story, but I'm going to cut it short to just give you context. So I went to visit this project, and naturally at these ECD centers, I was interacting with the teachers and also the children. And as we were in the classroom, I noticed that obviously they are not well-resourced like your private schools. But one of the things that really stood out for me was the lack of children's books. So I approached the teachers and I asked, is it possible that we come and read to children some stories? And they said yes. So I went back to the office and got colleagues. We had interns at the time, and we started reading to children. As you can imagine, the children were excited. The teachers wanted more, so they asked us, why don't we make this a weekly activity? Come every Friday, for example. I say, sure, that's no problem. It's easy to organize volunteers. But as I drove away, I thought it has to be something sustainable. So I then started collecting children's books from families, and we set up 4 library boxes. So we started working with 4 ECD centers in Samora Machel, in Ombili and Havana areas. And those library boxes were then handed over to these kindergartens, so the resources were now there in their own settings. But I continued engaging with the ECD centers and engaging with the children. And then as I noticed that there was a gap, speaking to 5- and 6-year-olds, there was a gap of general knowledge just about awareness of the space which children are in, or just to imagine beyond their immediate surroundings. So, but that also reminded me of my own childhood. I grew up in a small village in northern Namibia, and as I reflected as a small kid, maybe 4 or 5 years old, in that village, I couldn't imagine anything beyond that village. So then I thought, why not write a book about Namibia? A book that allows children to be aware of their environment. So to just know their country, their identity. It's important to know that in my country, I live here in Samora Machel, or in this area. But beyond that, I live in a big city. I live in Windhoek. I live in Namibia. I live in the Commerce region. So, and that book was then published with the help of Development Workshop in 2021. And after that, I have written several others that are now freely distributed to children in ECD centers across Namibia. And all this work is done by Development Workshop, and the director of Development Workshop is here tonight. So if you would like to chat to her, Jessica Brown, please feel free afterwards to hear more of their work. So then about 2 years ago, I ventured into self-publishing. So I was suddenly I was in overdrive of creating children's books. So I then created the Children's Picture Atlas of Africa. I expanded on the idea of the Children's Picture Atlas of Namibia into the continent. And then also I wrote another book called The Treasure Hunt. All these books are at the back there. At the end of the event, you are welcome to browse through and look around. And I've also written Beautifully Different. This is my favorite one. It's a book about diversity and inclusion. And we are also looking into babies, because children picture books are also an encouragement to language development. So when you have a baby and you are interacting with that baby, obviously you are helping in the development of the child, and some sensory books that are also on the way. But tonight we are also about to meet Temba. Temba is a young, adventurous zebra, full of curiosity and excitements to explore. She has a companion. Maybe she will have more. I don't know yet. And the companion and all companions will also be appearing in the stories that we are going to create. Tonight we are going to share the very first story of Temba. It's the story of more young children. I'll be reading it aloud to the children tonight. But as we go forward, we will be writing stories that ranges for children 0 to 6 years old. So, but tonight we are also launching Temba Kids. But tonight we are also launching Temba Kids Hub, which is a social enterprise which aims to contribute to building Namibian children literature. Our aim is to support and complement efforts that are already being done in promoting early literacy across the country with locally created and contextualized early literacy materials. Our success, of course, will rely in partnerships with individuals, with institutions, and with government, private sectors, educators, and communities. Together, we can translate into local languages, and we can bring stories to families, kindergartens, and ECD centers, and really drive access with equity. I believe that step by step, home by home, every Namibian child should have access to books, to imagine, to dream, and to broaden their horizon. That is why Temba Kids Hub exists, because every child deserves the best start for the best future. Before I conclude, I would like to thank everyone who has contributed to this journey. Claire Galloway, she's not here tonight, but she has edited most of the books that you will see today totally free of charge. The wonderful artists and creatives that I get to work with, I'll mention a few of them. I work quite with a lot, but Elizabeth, Mitchell, Alexandra, Graciette, Clara, Alan, Silas, and many others who made these books into lovely visuals that children can enjoy. The government, particularly the Ministry of Education, in 2021, when we launched the Children's Picture Atlas of Namibia, Honorable Dr. Sanet Steenkamp, she was then the executive director. She spoke at the launch of the Children's Picture Atlas of Namibia on the importance of access to books for young learners and the importance of reading with or to them in early years. ECD experts and practitioners in the private sector and development organizations, Foibe, Liesel, Jessica, and many others who have shared their expertise, brainstormed ideas, and continue to support this work. To the corporates and foundations supporting ECD programs and projects, to the educators, children and families who read books, who read our books, to all of you, a very big thank you. And with that, I would like now to invite Ms. Ayesha Wentworth, Director of Programs and Quality Assurance at the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture, to give her remarks and officially unveil Temba, our own Namibian children character. Ms. Ayesha, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I will also not keep you long. Our little people need to do their routines. But distinguished guests, distinguished educators, dedicated parents, cherished literacy champions, our author of the day, Miss Hilma Weber, and most especially our wonderful children. A very warm welcome to you all. The Honourable Minister really wanted to be here this evening, but unfortunately she couldn't. So I'm very honoured to be here on her behalf and say a few words. We gather this evening with a great sense of pride as we launch the Temba character, Namibian character, an initiative born from a deep love for reading and an unwavering belief in the future of every Namibian child. Ladies and gentlemen, Namibia has shown strong and steadfast commitment to transforming education. Our national vision is clear: to ensure every child masters foundational literacy and numeracy in line with the Sustainable Development Goal 4. And we know that reading is the cornerstone of all learning and that early years are irreplaceable. Yet, the data we have now compels us to act with urgency. At the 2024 end-of-phase national assessment, only 30% of all learners met the minimum requirements in literacy competency, which means 70% of the learners went into grade 4 without the requisite skills to master the content of grade 4. A mere 3% achieved a score of 75% or higher, and just 4% could express their ideas effectively in writing. Behind these numbers are children who struggle to tell B from D and who find it hard to share their thoughts on paper. This is not just a learning gap, it is a barrier to their dreams. Our national resolve is strong, but the task ahead is undeniable and mammoth. In response, our ministry has embarked on a clear, multifaceted strategy. First and foremost, we are busy with taking over the quality assurance function from early childhood education. So ensuring that there is curriculum there, ensuring that there's quality stimulation so that the children are ready to gain those skills that they need. We are working hand in hand with the Ministry of Gender with the Right Start campaign, making sure that the first steps are the right steps. We have embraced synthetic phonics, rolling out Jolly Phonics across the nation and proudly leading Africa in implementing Jolly Grammar 1 nationally. But we are going further. We are introducing a national monthly reading assessment and support program to identify struggling readers early and provide targeted help, equipping heads of department with tools like the Jolly Monitor app to mentor teachers effectively, and central to our approach was developing new culturally relevant teaching materials, especially decodable and leveled readers to build both decoding skills and deep comprehension, which we are very proud to say that we are nearly done with in all 11 languages. Our ultimate aim is bold but essential. 100% of learners in grades 1 to 3 reading fluently with comprehension by the end of each school year. This is why tonight's launch matters. Temba's literacy launch directly aligns with Namibia's national literacy vision. Tonight we do 4. We promote early childhood literacy as the bedrock of lifelong learning. We introduce new vibrant literacy materials designed for Namibian children, and most joyfully bring to life Temba, a Namibian character who will walk alongside our children on their reading journey, as well as the Temba Hub, which will continue to develop materials for our children. These beautifully illustrated, locally created readers do more than teach sounds and words. They say to our children, your stories matter, your identity is valued. Reading is for you. I have to disagree with the author because I particularly enjoyed All Skins Are Good Skins, which I felt was a beautiful story about diversity and how everybody should be included. As Namibia moves towards the national primary program anchored in phonics, Temba's playful multi-sensory resources will help build auditory, vocabulary, and phonological skills from the earliest years. This initiative is a shining example of how civil society and local creativity can amplify government's efforts to help turn national strategy into daily reading joy. To move from 30% to 100%, we must act together. Educators, you are the guides. We encourage you to expand your horizons and use innovative approaches and resources such as these that inspire your classroom. Parents, you are the first teachers. Soon, you will receive practical tips and take-home resources. Use them. Read with your child. Make story time sacred. And to every partner and supporter here, let this launch be a spark. Let us rally around Temba, not just as a character, but as a symbol of what is possible. Let our children be as curious as Temba. We applaud our author for her passion and dedication to the nation's literacy agenda. Congratulations. Together, we can ensure that every Namibian child, Together, we can ensure that every Namibian child gains the literacy skills to unlock their potential and the imagination to dream beyond it. With that said, we officially launch the Temba character and the Temba Kids Hub. Thank you very much.
Now it's story time. Teachers in the room, can I ask your assistants to please help me have the children at the front? I think we can maybe form a circle here. So maybe, can we sit? Is it okay if we just sit here, like we move a circle? So you want to sit here? You want to sit here? No? Okay. It's okay. In Angola, you can stay if you like. Yes, of course, adults, you are welcome to stay or you are welcome to come forward with the kids if they feel more comfortable. But if they also don't want to come, it is okay. So I will need your help, Ms. Lufina, and maybe another teacher in the room, or Ms. Olivia, you want help? Thank you. I just need somebody to hold the books as we read. I'm wondering if I can read with the mic. Maybe I read without.
I can hold for you the mic.
Yeah? You want to hold the mic? Okay. I actually would love to sit, but I have my... Yeah, Miss Lufina is doing it. You want to do it?
Can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Hi. So we are going to read Temba, Splish and Splash. Can zebras lose their stripes? Can they? No? Let's find out what happened to Temba stripes. This book is illustrated by Alexandra Donaisky. She's right there. I mentioned her name earlier, but I didn't say she should stand up, but there she is. So she illustrated this book. It rained all night. Big puddles, little puddles, water everywhere. Temba is excited. I want to splish and splash, but what if my stripes wash away? Says Temba. Then you will look like a horse, says Ben. Temba dips her tail into the water. Splish! I am so stripy. Hee hee ha ha, says Temba. Next, she hops in with both feet. Splash! Oops, my whole bottom is wet, but I'm still stripy. Hee hee ha ha, says Temba. Now for a big swim, says Temba. She is so excited. She's jumping 1, 2, 3. Temba jumps and dives. Whoosh! Splash! Then she pops up. Oh no! My stripes are gone. They are washed away. They are gone. Oh no. Oh, my stripes? Oh, I still have. But these ones are gone. Ben is looking on, really surprised. Oh. Don't worry. I'll give you new stripes, says Ben. With leaves from a mopane tree, Ben creates stripes on Temba. Ha! Now I have beautifully different stripes, says Temba. Green and gray. How cool is that?
That's brown.
Oh no, huh? It's not a zebra anymore.
Brown.
Oh, brown, yeah. Together, the two friends march around the tree singing. Suddenly, it starts to rain. Drip, drop, drip, drop. One by one, the leaves wash away. Then the mud washes away too. Yippee! My stripes are back! Temba shouts happily. Now I can swim all day long. Hee hee! Ha ha! The end. I have something for all of you. One moment.
What?
I have something. So you have your own Temba, your own little friends you can take with. Yeah. You can put it somewhere. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. There we go. Thank you. You want to have them? Give them? Thank you. Temba. Oh, Temba. We lost the stripes. But they came back. You have children at the back? Thank you very much. Yeah, that was the first stories of Temba. Then can you go? You want one for yourself? Yeah, so that's the very first story of Temba. So this book, we only printed copies to read out here tonight. It's not yet ready. We will be polishing it up, and we will have it ready in January. So if you have enjoyed the stories, you want to gift someone, so you can reach out to us. I could also put up a form later there if you would like to pre-order or put your name on, and make sure you get copies when they come out. With that, every story has a beginning. Like I say, when I started writing, I had to visit ECD centers. One of the ECD centers I visited, the owner is here tonight. The owner of that ECD center is here tonight. Happy Kids Kindergarten in Samora Machel constituency. Ms. Lufina Kamoso is going to give us the vote of thanks, and that will be bringing us close to our very brief program.
Okay, so good evening. Just as mentioned, my name is Lufina Kamoso. So first of all, I would like to recognize the presence of the children here, and then Ms. Ayesha, the parents, the ECD teachers. So good evening, everyone. On behalf of the organization, on behalf of the organizing team, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for the wonderful event we had today. A special thank goes out to all the children sitting down here, and perhaps if there are some sitting behind there. So thank you for coming and being so great children. You were all amazing. So please give yourself a tight hug. So this is what we have to do now. So please give yourself a tight hug and say, I was amazing. Give yourself a tight hug and say, I was amazing. Yes, well done. Okay, thank you to all the parents. Thank you to all the teachers. Ms. Weber, I would like to personally congratulate you for the meaningful and impactful work you are doing. Reading in some area is often not prioritized due to limited resources, limited access to books, and lack of knowledge. So your initiative is helping to close this gap in a powerful way. So since the introduction of the library boxes at the ECD centers in the informal settlements, I have seen positive changes when I visited some ECD centers. Children are not only enjoying the stories, the storybooks, but they are also developing a love for reading. So in some areas, parents and teachers have also started engaging more by reading with the children and discussing the stories together. So this interaction strengthens family bonds and improves children's confidence and language development. I still remember the day Ms. Weber first visited Happy Kids Kindergarten and shared her vision. It began with reading to children and then collecting storybooks. So it began with reading to children and then collecting storybooks, magazines, puzzles, and transforming them into 4 steel library boxes. These boxes were then distributed to 4 ECD centers, including Happy Kids Kindergarten. Today, we can proudly say that this effort is growing into meaningful reading culture in our communities through more awareness, even though more awareness is still needed. So we pray and hope that more doors of support will open in as many more ECD centers will need access to storybooks and reading materials. Your work has shown us that with the right resources, every child can develop a strong foundation in literacy. All thanks to the parents, all thanks to the partners who have supported, guided, motivated, and encouraged the other, although throughout the process. Please continue supporting this initiative. Today, our children in the ECD centers have learned so much about Namibia and Africa from the Atlas book. These books, the Atlas book is the book that Ms. Weber mentioned at the beginning. That was the first book that she wrote. So this book it had broadened their knowledge, the children's knowledge, and sparked their curiosity about the world, just to mention a few. Lastly, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to the National Library of Namibia for providing us with the space and for continued support. Thank you once again for coming and for being part of this beautiful and impactful journey.
With that, it's the end of our program. But we can, of course, the foyer is big. We can hang out and chat and connect. And yeah, so we have some small juices for the children, if they're allowed to, of course, with permission from parents. Yeah, so, but I would love to connect and chat with you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, media. Thank you, everybody. We were live streaming, actually. So thank you for those who are joining us online. Thank you.